Behind the Roar, the official podcast of Wests Tigers.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Behind the Roar, the official podcast of the Wests Tigers, where we kick speculation into touch, where we give it to you straight, and where we learn more about the people and the stories behind this great club. This week's guest is a very proud Indigenous man. He's a character, he's a father, he's a joker, he's a natural leader, and he's a bloody good footballer and a bloody good bloke as well. He made his NRL debut with the Panthers midway through the 2019 season, scoring, would you believe, 6 tries in his first 6 NRL games. He's also played a pivotal role in the design of the Wests Tigers Indigenous jersey for 2023, which the boys will proudly wear this weekend against the Cowboys at Leichhardt Oval. He's also very proud to have played with the Indigenous All-Stars team not once but twice, and earlier this year in New Zealand he had a standout performance. It's a very warm welcome to Behind the Roar, Brent Naden. Mate, thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Chrissy, mate. Thanks for having me.
The Indigenous jersey, firstly, it looks really, really good, and I know you're quite proud on the final product. Just take us through how it all came about. There's 7 Indigenous boys in our squad, and
8 now.
8
with young Tony coming across.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a young Indigenous boy from Burke. I think his family originally from. He grew up in Dubbo, but I think he's got mob connections out through Burke. Well, he plays with Burke in the knockout. So
yeah. So you all had input into the jersey, and it tells a real story about your various tribes and year, how you got here to Wests Tigers.
Yeah, so this year, Mia and the club actually came to myself and Dane and asked if he wanted to do it, and we jumped at it straight away. And and it was funny. So my cousin sort of messaged me and just like had a little yarn to see how I was going, like how I was enjoying football and that. And he's an artist, and
This is Will Towney.
Yeah. And he sort of just messaged me. He's like, "Hey, bro, if you need any painting done, or I'll paint your boots and whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll keep that in mind." And I was like, I think it was probably like the next day or the next week. Like it was either the Friday or the following Monday. When I come in, Mia and Rachel and all that reached out to me, and because we just had that conversation, he's the first person that popped in into my head. And so we rung him and we got him down. He drove down from up Newcastle, where I think he's from, lives now. He came in and we sort of like wanted to go over the storyline with, there's 7 of us boys at the time. We wanted to tell like a story that, Concord, everyone meets at Concord, and we're all from different parts and different tribes.
Yeah.
But we all have this one meeting place, and we always come in here to see each other every day for training, and then we play, and whatnot. So like the jersey's sort of here. So I'll sort of walk you through it. So we've sort of represented that there to be the meeting place, the little circle down there, and that's all us boys, and we've got different colours, and as I go, you'll see why the different colours are with the different totems. So young Dream Buller, his totems, or he's from Gumbengi, and his totems are the ocean. So we decided to do. We really wanted to do his ocean like a panel right down the side of the jersey, but it wasn't possible with the way the jersey layout is.
And Dream, he's only just, I guess, beginning his discovery about his.
Yeah, I think he knew. I knew like all through his life that he was a Indigenous man. I think he's just learning more. Like, and it's like it is the oldest living culture on this earth. So I'm still learning as well, and a lot of the boys are still learning, and it's nice to share that journey with Dream.
There's so much to learn, isn't there? So he's on the East Coast, and then
this is the
further over on.
So yeah, this
Wellington.
is the East Coast, and as you go down, you got like Dane Laurie. He's the go-owner, and the Dolphin up here. Yeah. So that's the Bunjalung of the Yagal Nation, I think. I'm not too sure because Dana needs to tell it. Then you got, as you go down the coastline, you've got Tristan Riley, who's Dungutty. So he's Foster, I think he is.
Yep.
So he's the praying mantis. And as you come down further to into Newcastle region, or not region, but where Will grew up, but that's
Will Smith, yeah.
Will Smith. So he's got I think it's fresh water turtle in the echidna.
Two totems, yeah.
He's two totems.
Yeah.
And then over here, so this is like out in West, as in your central West, I got myself and Chimith. So Chimith's family's, he's got connections to Bathurst.
Wiradjuri, yeah.
Wiradjuri, same as me. But my one's a Sangoana. So obviously grew up in Wellington. But I got all family, got connections to everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Hondo, Peak, Gill. But yeah, we just sort of wanted to say use the jersey as a map in a way. And then we flip it over.
I like the kangaroo prints too.
Yeah, just our 3 home grounds sort of, Leichhardt, Campbelltown and Combank. And then we're just meeting into wherever we play it, either I think it was at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
And then the boys are all sitting around, and the 3 bigger ones are the coaches. Then obviously the boys, that's our boys.
Different coloured totems.
Different colours.
And the kangaroo prints there for the new
I think that's
boys that have joined us.
Yeah, the boys that joined us and just the journey on their way. And it's also, I think, Will, it's his label. It's called the Roo label, so he's also chucked it in there. And then also just out here we got myself, Geordie Hill and Chumif all out here.
Yeah.
Out west.
Nice. It's a wonderful looking jersey, isn't it? It really looks great and tells such a story. And as you say, you're still learning because there is just so much to learn.
There's so much. And we also chucked in the Torres Strait up here to represent those.
Yeah, wonderful. No, you should be really proud. And I've spoken to Will. So Will
the
Towney is your cousin, right?
Yeah. He's my pop is my poppy Ralph.
Yeah.
He's Will's uncle or cousin. I'm not too sure. But if you mob, you mob. You don't really.
He's
go
a good
through
fella. He's very talented.
You don't go through the family tree. You just I'm related through your dad's side, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Done. But one thing I'm actually bummed that they won't be able to play in it.
I bet, yeah. Mm.
So Will, me becoming a father for the first time last year, and Will's got 3 kids of his own and just had a newborn bub. We wanted to put the kids' handprints on it. So that's my little fellas down here, the littlest one. And then you got Will's 3. Oh, no, he has 3.
Will Smith?
Yeah, including the one he just had, yeah.
As distinct from Will Towney, the artist.
Yeah, Will Smith. Will Smith. Sorry. Yeah, it's a couple of Wills. There's a lot of Wills.
Yeah. But it looks great. And I know you're really proud of it. I know you're
Yeah.
really proud. And you would love to be wearing it this weekend.
I'd do anything to be in the jersey this weekend and run out with the boys.
I bet.
I know I think it's just more than a round and more than a game this week to a lot of probably every single Indigenous player in the game.
Mm.
Because we get to showcase our art, our stories. We also get to play for, we always play for our family, but at the same time, the boys are playing for Dane, Tristan, Will, Geordie, and Chimus, and Bullers. So we're not just playing for our own; we're all playing to represent each other's families.
Mm.
And I think having an Indigenous background, family's a big thing. And I'm absolutely bummed that I can't play in it this year.
It means so much, doesn't it? NRL Indigenous Round. And everyone buys into it, and rightly so. What's most important about Indigenous Round for you and for your other Indigenous players?
Probably like I just touched on then. It's being able to showcase our artwork, tell our stories tell stories through jerseys, through our artwork. We get to learn about our culture a little bit more coming into the week. But yeah, I think a big one is just probably just representing your family and just showing that everyone is one. Yeah, connected.
You've how are you doing yourself? You've been in and out of the team in recent weeks, so let's just go. So you missed round 5 against the Broncos, the blowout. We'll forget about that game, shall we?
Yeah,
I think you had an infection. You returned round 6 against the Eels. You did your shoulder on Easter Monday, same day that Adam did his knee.
Yeah.
Then you were back to face the Panthers in Bathurst.
Yeah, and just a little
Brilliant.
brain fart.
Well, they say a brain fart, shoulder charge, aka brain fart. They gave you 3 weeks personally, and I called that match, and Sowie was calling it with me on GB, and we didn't think. We thought there was arm involved, right?
But
anyway,
I used my right shoulder, and it was probably just coming in 100 miles an hour, and
anyway, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. I made my bed. I'll lay in it now. You know, consequences.
So you miss Indigenous round. That's a bummer, as you've just said.
Yeah.
You'll be back then against the Raiders at Campbelltown in round 14.
Yeah, so 3 games, 4 weeks because of the
So
bye.
we've got the bye as well. So that's going to be a 5-week period you have not played, right? You're out of the game for a few weeks, and Pete Moose, the head of high performance, he has said you can be no more than 10 minutes late for your gym weight session today. We've just had a really nice presentation with the all-in staff meeting for Brooksy's 200th this weekend.
Yep.
Nice, wasn't it? Good fella, Brooksy, isn't he? He's a lovely
he's
fella.
He's a couple of lockers down down from me, so see him every morning. We have like a little joke, and yeah, he gets a bit awkward sometimes. He's I don't know. It's hard to explain. He's like hard to explain, but he's one of the nicest blokes you'll meet. He's just become a father too. He's last year.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you too, right? So how and you and Brooksy, your bub's only probably 1 now-ish?
Yeah, just turned 1 last month.
Onyx.
How
you spell that?
ONYX.
And the background to that name?
So there's a little bit of a storyline. So when we first found out,
this is your first child, right?
Yeah. When Eden first found out she was pregnant, I had a name and it was just Cruz. It was going to be Cruz. I just loved the name Cruz.
With a K or C?
C. Yeah. Just Cruz. And that's how it was going to be. And and then her Ned, that she was pretty close with, passed away before I didn't get to meet her. She passed away a few years ago. And she left Eden a necklace. You know, a necklace, it has like a ring. It's got a ring or a locket or something. And Eden, she couldn't find it. And when Eden gets stressed and stuff, she has this necklace and it sort of calms her down. She lost it and she couldn't find it for ages. Yeah. Then 2 weeks out before she went into labour, found the necklace, and someone said she's seen the name Onyx somewhere, and she goes, "I like that. We'll just sit on it." And then she found the necklace, and we talked about it, and found that the stone on her Nen's necklace is Onyx, and from then I was just it's going to be Onyx.
Nice, has to be.
There's a bit of muck, a bit of freaky how it all happened.
I
probably explained it pretty badly, but it's it's just
how has being a dad changed who Brent Naden is as a person and as an athlete?
It's changed me so much, mate. I get a little bit emotional talking about it.
No, I know.
I'm a proud father.
Yeah.
I've probably been at the lowest of lows, especially a few years ago. Everyone knows, no secret what I've done, and I'm not ashamed of what I've done, but I do regret it. But having my son has changed me and put everything into perspective. Off field sort of things. I can't really use foul language, but I was a terrible kid. Now I was a bit of a rat bag and didn't mind a drink and whatnot. And that now I've pulled my head in. I met Eden, had my son, pulled my head in that much. I just bought my first house last week, so we're just in the cooling down period and the settlement. Move in a couple of weeks. Yeah. But as a footballer, it's probably just don't take everything for granted. Especially I didn't really do too much of recovery. I was probably one of the fattest outsides backs you'll see. I had a big spare tyre on me and
I'm chilling. I can't see you.
No, I just had a set of stilt for legs and just this big.
When was this?
Ugly, putrid, mate. Not too. A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Sort of 21, I kind of dropped the fat a bit.
Yeah.
But just now I'm probably really not diligent, but do a lot more recovery than I used to. I actually watch what I eat. For before I used to love playing a game. Oh, I'm going out and going to have a beer. Now it's just I go home, see my son, take it away. If I go home back to Wellington for the weekend, might have a beer with my pop.
Yeah.
Beer with my dad, but yeah, just it feels good.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Nice.
just a different.
No, it does. Changes everything, doesn't it?
It changes
Your whole
everything.
perspective. It's no longer about you.
Yeah,
Is that
I feel
fair?
people say you feel like a different person. I sort of do because
Yeah.
I had my old life and I've learnt from that life, but now it's
Yeah.
I'm dad now. Can't really be a rat bag and then go when your son grows up and tells him to do one thing and then he finds out you're doing that and you sound a
Absolutely.
bit hypocritical.
Absolutely. We've departed a bit from the script here, but
Yeah.
how this normally works, right? And we'll go back to the game plan if we can get back on track, Nato. You'll hear the whistle blow, right? We're going to open with a set of 6. That was a very big introduction, though. We've just gone through there. In the middle, we'll talk a bit more footy and a bit more about you and your background. We'll have a few questions from the crowd. There have been quite a few come in. If you want to send any in for future guests, Instagram's the best way to do it. Just DM us on the Insta account, Wests Tigers BTR. And then at the back end, we'll rattle through with about 5 left on the clock. It's up there. Just imagine there's a clock there.
That made me look nothing here.
Well, your favourite 5, all right? That could
sweet.
pretty much be anything. Righto. Well, let's dive in. There is the whistle. You hear that? Let's launch into the opening set of 6. It is your Wests Tigers debut.
Yep.
It is at Leichhardt Oval.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing against the Bulldogs.
Oh,
just
yep.
7 days after playing with the Bulldogs.
Mm.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
You're
was a bit
wearing
strange.
jersey number 21 on your back. And away we go with the opening set of 6 with Brent Naden. Tell us a little bit more about your junior years and where you first started playing footy.
Wellington
Age?
Wellington Cowboys. Played all my juniors there. Pretty lucky with the mum and dad. Drove me to every single game. I think I might have started when I was like 6, under 6s. But yeah, sort of just chopped and changed like every season of this was different. So like cricket in the summer, footy in the winter. Had a go at basketball, no good. First game basketball got fouled off, 5 fouls, too aggressive.
Yes.
But yeah, I did all my juniors there. Was actually a halfback, 5'8". Yeah. I was actually played a lot in the halves, and then
We have got very good hands, very, very good. Those giddly passes that you like to throw.
Cheers, mate.
No worries.
No, I sort of played in the halves, and then like when I made a couple of rep teams, they just pushed me into the centres. I've always been like big, tall, lanky looking thing. Had a bit of toe about me back in the day, and I sort of kept that toe. I think it's dying off a bit now. I used to do athletics. I've seen there's a little fun fact in there. Fun fact: I won under 9s 200 metres state champions.
Well, yeah. So a bit of an all-rounder. Mate, you haven't lost that toe because I recall seeing you, where was it? Was it at Campbelltown? Did you play? Was it in the Manly game? It was a recent game when you showed.
Bulldogs.
Yeah. It was at Belmore, wasn't it? You still got it. Now, so your entry into NRL then, your pathway and how you arrived at the Panthers.
Yeah, so I made a couple of rep teams. I think I was pretty lucky. I don't think anyone really tried out for it. Made that, and then we played like a curtain raiser, City versus Country in Mudgee. And it just happened to be that Gus Gould was calling that game.
What age was that? Probably 19.
I think I was 16.
Yeah.
Always sort of played like me and my cousin Lewis. We always sort of played up in age, because when we got to 14, I think it was, Wellington didn't have a team, so we had to drive to Dubbo and play up in Dubbo. And he went to South and I went to PCYC. Weirdest memory, bro. I can remember everything. So we sort of made that team together, and then I sort of don't know how it all worked out. I knew Gus was calling that game.
Yeah.
And he come out and met with me and Lewis at my mum's work. And then the rest is sort of history. I went down there to trial. I think we played a game. I think we played against Broncos in a trial. It was at Paddy's where a lady I ended up going to school. Yeah, it's SG Ball under 20s. at
Because the Panthers, they have extended their footprint over the mountains,
Over the
haven't
mountains,
they?
yeah,
And through to Bathurst and beyond as well,
yeah,
trying to
sort
get
of
that
Bathurst,
catchment.
Orange, all around that
Yeah.
area. Pretty good footballers come
Yeah.
from out Central West.
We're up to tackle 3, question 3, and I've already asked you this away from footy. How has being a dad changed your life? And it's
thing
changed
ever.
it quite a lot. So we won't go down there again. But I can tell you are a very proud dad, and
Yeah,
another one.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Another one
So,
coming.
Yeah, I got a little girl coming now.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, we knew. So we did a big gender reveal for Onyx. Like we invited heaps of friends and family over.
Yeah.
And then I'm no good at secrets. I can't keep secrets from
Name
like,
yet? We got a name? Few?
Yeah,
What's on the list?
we got a couple, but I think with Cruise we told too many people and we sort of like wore it
Keep
out.
this one.
So we
Because we could throw this out to the crowd and get them to vote on what you should name your first daughter.
I think it might be Timmy the Tiger. I reckon a couple of them will come back at
Timmy or Tammy?
Tammy the Tiger. So a little girl, me, Eden, and Onyx, we just did a little gender reveal at home, which was nice.
Nice. Yeah. Tell us, Nato, and I know family's always been really important to you, your immediate family and your extended family as well. Tell us a bit more about your mob.
Yeah, so grew up in Wellington. I've got a younger brother and a younger sister. My sister's 11 months younger than me, so mum and dad didn't muck around. My brother, mate, we're as thick as thieves. He's 5 years younger than me, but the bond we got is, I get pretty much. I get emotional talking about my family. My brother, he's probably one of my role models I see. We're so close, and he'd do the same for me. And he knows where I stand in his life, and he knows where he stands in mine. That's
nice.
Got stuck on talking to him. Anyways,
You always been tight.
I think we had a fair bit of fights growing up, but that made us tighter.
Brothers do.
Yeah, I think I hate to admit it, but he's 5 years younger than he might have got me in a couple. Not many, but he might have got me in a couple.
Yeah.
And then I've got that's mum's got 3 brothers. She's one of 3 boys, 4 in the family, and we sort of grew up in Wellington, and we've always been a really, really close family. Dad's family's from Gilgandra. We always used to go up there. Remember going up to Poppy House, and Pop Ralph's just a bit like me, like very, very cheeky, get you going a bit.
You are cheeky.
They probably get that from him.
I stayed in that hotel one night, Gilgandra pub, on a footy tour.
I don't go in the hotel, but it's too freaky up there. I stay in Pops.
It was a bit freaky.
Yeah, it's a bit freaky up those ways, but I normally stay at Pops and he gets me scared.
Your Indigenous roots, and as a child, was that always often spoken about, and learning more about your tribe, if you like?
Yeah, like when I come down here, it's sort of like growing up in Wellington, it's sort of been like a high population of Indigenous people back there, so I didn't really know any different. Small community, everyone's related to everyone, you're close with your family, and all going through school, you sort of know who you are from a young age, and you sort of learn as you go, and they have like programs in school, but you also learn off your family. So I always knew I was who I was, I guess, when I'm like as a Indigenous person. But yeah, growing up and still now, like those All-Stars camps have been the best things I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, it's unreal.
What's so good about? Tell us.
Just to hear like more stories and connect with like all the other boys there from different mobs, and like you get talking and some of you related.
I've heard similar people say, and the Maori All-Stars as well.
Yeah,
they
and
all
like
dive into the
hearing
culture.
stories and like you exchange stories. Like when we went over there this year,
Can get quite emotional.
yeah, it was very emotional and like the stories were very powerful, mate. And you see like, I guess, similarities in both cultures. Just the similarities in both cultures was just amazing to be a part of.
Oh, nice. There's the arm in the air, last tackle. I don't know I think it's Ziggy. I can't pronounce his surname. Adamski Prejlaka. He's the referee.
The one that hates me.
Oh, does he?
I don't know.
I think he refereed your
Is that
first
the one
game.
that sent me off?
Probably.
Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I
Ziggy's
reckon all
up.
of them sent me off in my time somewhere
You've been
along the
off,
line.
you've spent a bit of time.
Yeah, a bit of time in the old boy.
Question 6. Can you tell us something about Brent Naden that we don't know?
So back with my grandfather, he used to tell me stories growing up, and he has made me petrified of the dark.
Really?
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, it's weird. I'll go hunting with my dogs and knife in my hip, and away I go. But you tell me to walk it down my driveway in pitch black by myself, I'd tell you where to go, mate.
Big tough Brent Naden.
Yeah, big tough Brent Naden. Like, I reckon, midnight. I'm scared. Like, I promise you, I'm
quite dark in here. Can we get?
No, don't turn lights
dim
off
those
here.
lights.
I'm all right when I'm with people, but by myself.
Go
I'll tell
on.
you, me pop used to do like these shows and stuff out at Balladoran. It's like where he lives. And I was meant to be the little hairy man that comes out, like, they was telling a story. Like, Dad sort of got it on video, and I can remember Pop telling me, it's like, don't you come out until I give you a sign. And I had to put like this gorilla mask on because I was the hairy man. And I walked out. He gave me the sign. And I walked out, and I sat next to like the little campfire that they made. And one of my aunties turned the light off and turned the light back on real quick. And I got scared because it's that dark in the mask. I got terrified, and I ripped the mask off, and I was looking around like that, and I was I was scared. But yeah, that fun fact that probably no one knows, I was scared.
I would
of the
never
dark.
have picked you for that.
Yeah,
So your little night lamp in your bedroom.
I'll turn every light on walking to the toilet.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
not ashamed.
Well, there you go. We've learned a whole lot more about
There you go.
Brent Naden. Grab your bucket and put your feet up because KFC is delivering Friday night footy. Get in on the action from home and order off the KFC app or website to snag a fried gold feast this footy season. Mate, let's go back to NRL debut, right? So with the Panthers, that was round 12 against Manly. You won the first 6 games you played in the NRL. You scored 6 tries in those 6 games. How well do you remember your first NRL game?
Bits and pieces. I remember we played Manly at Penrith. I think it was round 12.
Was it a realisation of a dream? Was this something you'd wanted for years and years?
Yeah, so I was part time at that stage. Just training in the afternoons, working throughout the days. And I sort of remember they played Parramatta the week before. Dean Farday was he was injured, and then Wonga Blake got injured that game. I think it was Indigenous round because Mitch Kenny debuted that against Para, and I sort of come in to training, and guys said, "Oh, Nato, you're going to be needed at first grade tomorrow," and that was on a Saturday. And they trained on Sunday. I sort of walked in the next day, and I've sort of said to me, we want to play you, but you have to wait for an exemption. We have to get an exemption for you. So I sort of knew exemptions like what they were because when I was at Newcastle, I spent a little bit of time at Newcastle, and I needed an exemption to get 18th man, and the NRL said no to the exemption to let me be 18th man up there. So I just when he said I need an exemption, I sort of just put my hopes down a little bit, and not going to happen.
But it was a long time coming, right? And so fast forward a few years, then you leave the Panthers and go to the Bulldogs. Now, this was crazy the way this all happened. And I remember it vividly because I hadn't been in this role as media manager for that long. So we have signed Brent Naden from the Bulldogs last year. I think they had lost 7 matches in a row. You joined us, I think it was about round 10, and it was Teamless Tuesday. I remember it vividly.
Yeah, I sort of remember so we went into the meeting at Bulldogs. Sort of got told about Baz. Gus sort of pulled me back after and sort of gave me a little bit of a rundown. And he said, Tigers are interested. I was like, righto. So I got on the phone to my manager. And I think my manager already knew about it. And he said, yeah, mate, give this number a call and blah, blah, blah. And it was Madge. Rung Madge. Madge said, all right, mate, what are you doing tomorrow? Can I meet with you?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, right, I'll bring my family out. And I drove out to where Madge was living, and that was Tuesday morning. We met at Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. Had a meeting with him and, just seeing where the club was going and whatnot. And then 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, I'm named in the Tigers team. I'm like,
Well, so I'm the one that does the naming, right?
I
So
didn't even
I'm
know.
doing the team list Tuesday. I've got to get this out, bang, as you know, 4 o'clock. I get a tap on the shoulder at about, let's say 3:48. By the way, we've got a new player coming, and he's going to be playing this weekend, and you've got to get him in the team list, and we've got to do a press release, and we've got to make it all happen.
Yeah,
My God, it was the most stressful Tuesday afternoon I've ever had.
Yeah, I was a bit all over the shop, like, just left one club and come to another club, and I got named to play against my old club.
What was that like?
I couldn't tell you. It was weird, and then I had a little bit of head noise because I was like, I got named in a team list that only had the meeting with the coach at the Tuesday morning, named that Tuesday afternoon.
I think you might have had captain's run.
Went into captain's run. Hasn't even seen any of the boys yet. We had in a meeting, and then Madge gets up and says, "Boys, Nado's going to be debuting." And I'm like,
well,
I haven't even had a training session with the boys.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was crazy.
The weirdest week of my life, that one.
Yeah, crazy.
We got the win, which was nice. So
it was on your debut. It was at Leichhardt Oval where the boys are back.
Leichhardt's the best. I used to hate playing here.
Yeah,
against the Tigers, but now I'm on the Tigers. I love Leichhardt.
Yeah, and it's our final home game for the season for various reasons at Leichhardt because of the Women's World Cup and all that. The last few weeks, Nato, have been really positive for the team. Going back to that win in Bathurst, how special was that for you against you?
Yeah, like I said, against the old club. Did all my juniors there. Debuted there. That club will always be pretty special to me. But to go out there, Bathurst, and back-to-back premiers, and for just playing against the old club, and to get out that for that to be our first win was pretty mad.
What about the rain?
Oh mate, it was that cold. Bathurst is freezing.
So that's why you got the 10 in the bin, so you go and warm up. Did you get 10 in the bin?
Probably should have stayed out in the field, to be honest, because it was even more cold in the sheds.
Was it?
Sitting in the sheds, and I was just sitting there.
It can get really cold in Bathurst. So you get rubbed out. You missed the Dragons win, so we're back-to-back wins, which was great. Then we go to the Bunnies last weekend. We were in that game right till the last 5 or 10.
I was watching, sitting in the box. It's a bit of an eye-opener, sitting in the box with those boys.
You hadn't done that before?
Never sat in the box before.
What's it like?
Yeah.
Who gets the most animated up there? Tim, Benji, Robbie?
Robbie's the most animated.
Is he?
Benji's the most focal. And Sheens is like
the calm head.
The godfather that just oversees everything. Just, yeah. Ferns is pretty good. But yeah, it was, and you see so much from up there. But now I know what to do when I go on the field and what not to do.
Well, you do see a lot from up there, right? And what not to do.
What not to do.
But I think in the last few weeks, we have learned, haven't we, to play that sort of long game, and we've matched.
Oh yeah, so going back onto it, I thought for that 70 minutes of that game, we stuck it to the informed team of the competition.
Yep.
The score blew out to 20-0, but that was only in the 8 minutes. 72nd minute mark. Yeah, 72nd minute. That's when the score started to blow out. But for 70 minutes, 72 minutes, we stuck it to those boys. What was it? 6-0 and then 8-0 for ages.
It was a real grind. It was a real grind. Real grind. And that's
I stayed in for a fair bit, and not too many knock-ons, but I think we're definitely finding our feet, and we've always been competitive at the start of the year, but just couldn't find that extra 2 tries.
Young Dream's going well.
Young Buller. He's such a good kid, mate. I can't speak highly enough of him, what he's come into this club or came into the team, and just his effort off the ball, around the ball, how fit he is, silent assassin, I call him. He's such a quiet, young, humble kid, but mate, Jesus Christ, he can play.
Talking of humble and silent kids, Junior's going great too, isn't he?
I don't think he's got a voice box. I actually do not think he talks, and if he does, he talks like this.
He doesn't need to talk. And Star's been going good too in your absence.
Yeah, Star's killing it,
hasn't he? And Noffa's doing good.
The Noffis. He's the man. He's the
character.
He's probably a real big leader out there. Noffi, he's got a lot of talk, but I think he leads by his actions.
How hard is it for you, Nato, watching and not playing?
Like I said, it's probably
real hard, huh?
Yeah, the worst. Because I'm sick of getting out there and doing fitness all the time, running by myself, doing weights by myself. I miss the boys.
You've got to get down to that gym shortly, right?
I do got to get down there shortly, but I miss the boys.
I know you do. Now, I don't know if you heard on 2GB earlier this week on with Mark Levy on the Wide World of Sports show, which is on 6 o'clock weeknight. So I don't know if you were listening. You're at the game against the Bunnies, and someone's given you quite a rap. You've made someone feel
give me a bit of a rap, mate.
pretty good about themselves. Now, you haven't heard this.
No, he's stitching me up, aren't you?
No. I better let you have a listen.
I might skid into that after footy because I've got a head for radio.
Let's go back to the open line. Jeremy, line 1 at Sylvania. G'day, Jeremy.
G'day, guys. Love your show.
Thanks, mate.
Just a quick shout out to Brent Naden. I took my 12-year-old son to the Tigers game on Saturday and for his birthday present. And, mate, 10 minutes into the game, he saw Brent Naden sitting in the box and I gave him a big wave and Brent, without hesitation, jumped out of his seat, jumped through a row of people, came over and shook hands with all the boys, and mate, I can't speak highly enough of him.
Isn't that great?
Champion bloke.
Good on you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this about the NRL players, mate, and but 99% of them do.
So we were sitting up in the corporate boxes, and I was just sitting there watching, and I looked over to my left, and I seen these couple of little boys, and they said, "NATO!" screaming. So I walked over and said hello to him, and it worked out to be one of the boys' birthdays, and I got a photo with him, and shook their hands and said, couldn't really tell who they were going for. They had South hats on or South jerseys on, and didn't matter.
That's nice, but I mean, obviously you're here to play football, but you've got to roll off the field as well, right?
Yeah, I remember. I always have time for the fans and stuff. I still remember when I can't remember my age, but I remember meeting Tamana Tahu, Danny Badiris, Andrew Johns, Robbie O'Davis at Newcastle. They signed my jersey, and I still got that jersey at home in my cupboard somewhere. But I just got to go through my dad's fishing stuff to find it because he's taken over my old room at my home and turned it into his fishing room. But I still got that, and I remember that for. And when I went to the All-Stars camp, seen Tamana Tahu, and I was like in awe because I was like,
yeah. Would you remember?
Bit awkward when I was
It was
talking
Gidley to Tahu, and you've been doing those Gidley passes.
Nah, it's just
Yeah. Grab your bucket and put your feet up because KFC is delivering Friday night footy. Get in on the action from home and order off the KFC app or website to snag a fried gold feast this footy season. Yeah. Hey, we've got quite a few questions from the crowd, Nato. I know we've got to look at our clocks because Moose will be coming into the studio.
Moose reckons I need to do leg weights, but I don't think.
Okay.
Built for speed, not comfort.
Aaron Thompson, g'day, Nato. Can't wait to see you back after the bye. What does Indigenous Round mean to you and the lads, and who do you think will really step up and represent their culture this weekend?
Like I said, but mate, it means a lot to me, my family, and my community from back home. I think the boys, just the team in general, will lift. Because everyone tries to lift, but also try and lift with Brooksy's 200. So I think there's a lot to play for this week, and I'm really looking forward to the boys running out there.
Troy Maguire, g'day Nato. I love a good try celebration, especially some of those done during Indigenous Round. GI's Goanna was always good value. Any chance of you coming up with one when you return? Watch this space.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think of one. Dane Laurie's got a good one.
What is it?
Backflip.
Can he do the backflip?
He can cartwheel backflip. He's pretty.
The Blacklock.
Yeah, he's actually very freaky like that.
Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Backflip on a BMX bike, scooter. He can surf. Oh, no, he can't surf. He can bodyboard.
Oh, difference.
But he doesn't brush his teeth.
Ugh. Thank you.
I'll stitch him up.
Too much info.
Yeah.
Dano. But you're really close with Dano.
Yeah, Dano's one of my little bullers. We've known each other from out Penrith days, so
yeah.
Lived around the corner from each other, and
yeah,
he's all right.
I don't know what you'd do without each other, to be honest.
Probably cry myself.
There is a bit of a man crush there. Favourite try you've scored in your career? This is from Jacob.
Can't go past your first. My first was pretty. Get off the nudie. That I think it was my second game.
Off the nudie, your first try. All right. Zoe Smith, Brent. We've got loads here, man. I haven't got time to go through all these. We might put some on the website, perhaps. There are whispers that you are the Joker amongst the boys. What is the best joke or prank you can recall that you have pulled on them?
No, I'm not a joker. I'm more of a pest.
Pest.
Yeah, I wouldn't say joker. I'm more of a pest.
Pest in a good way.
Yeah, nah.
Cooper asked this one, Nato, how big of an influence has Appy been on the team?
Oh, man, he's a freak, and he's had such a big influence. And him and Big Clem, like, they're probably both not as loud on the field, but lead by the actions, especially Big Clem.
Zach Doran asked, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes, 100%. 100%. I don't care. But I'll ask Zach one.
Yeah.
Where do you put your sauce, in the fridge or the cupboard?
I'm cupboard.
I'm cupboard. People put their sauce in the fridge, and
Nah.
it freaks me out.
Yeah,
Are you a fridge? Are you fridge?
Fridge? Weirdo. That's Tommy. Tommy on
Only
camera.
chocolate goes in the fridge.
No.
Chocolate's
Don't
in
like
the
cold
fridge.
chocolate. Righto. Well, there are some questions from the crowd.
Hey Wests Tigers members and fans, it's Brent Naden here. Watch us take on North Queensland Cowboys for Indigenous Round. It's our last game at Leichhardt Oval for the season, so make sure you feel the hill and get your tickets online at Ticket Tech. See you there.
We're going to rattle on, mate.
Yep.
Okay. Looking at the clock up
6 to
there,
go.
the big clock, the old clock at Leichhardt on the old scoreboard there. 5 minutes remaining. You haven't played. The clock used to stop at 5 to go before your time. Stopped.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it does now.
It still does it? The digital clock?
No.
Righto. Favourite 5, Nato, and then you're out of here. You're down
Done.
to see the Moose. Your favourite movie or TV series?
I'm on Suits at the moment. Yeah, Suits.
With Duchess. Yes.
Yes, with the Duchess.
Yes, that's where I first.
Understand why they didn't like it being on that.
Yes. Greatest Indigenous football you've seen? Can you give me 3? Can you give me 3?
Matty Bowen, Jonathan Thurston, and Greg Inglis.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Yeah, it was who I grew up
Bowen,
watching.
Thurston, Inglis.
Yep.
God, there've been so many though.
Thurston's back on inside the Bowen.
Oh,
GI's chip and chase against
Oh.
Bronco.
yeah,
Freak.
yeah. Dave Peachy, I used to love watching him play too.
Mm.
You would have only been you would have been tiny.
Tiny.
You would have been Onyx's
Understood.
age.
Maybe, yeah. Around then.
Yeah. Is there a player who you most wanted to be like when you were growing up?
Matty Bowen. Just because he was fast.
Mango.
And he's another one I've seen over in the All Stars. He's a legend.
Mango.
I don't think I talked to him for like 3 days because I just used to sit back and drink, have a cup of coffee and just watch him while he's had a cup of coffee. Probably a weirdo. Probably thinks I'm a weirdo, but I don't care.
Who's that
I
guy
don't
over
care.
there? That guy. Matty. Oh, it's me, NATO.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, how
Righto.
are you?
NATO. Favorite food, music, and holiday destination. Food, music, holiday.
Food is chicken pad thai, no tofu, no egg.
Boom.
Country music till I die.
Good.
Favorite holiday destination would have to be anywhere away from any city. Give me a swag, a dog out in
Yeah.
the country.
Under the stars.
Actually, better not say that. Give me my beautiful partner Eden, my son Onyx, and
We can have a
go
big,
anywhere.
big sleeping bag.
and a
Big swag. Big swag to get you and both of them in. Oh, there's going to
Yeah.
be 4 of you.
Actually,
You
no,
might need a
I need
tent.
2. I might need 2.
You might need a
'cause
tent.
I get kicked out of my bed at home when Onyx jumps in my room. I've got a king size bed, and I reckon I'll sleep.
On the edge.
I love you, bud. I love you.
Right on the edge.
Yep.
Been there.
And I get kicked in the back of the head by Onyx. He doesn't lay straight. He lays like on an ankle, like
Yeah, they
straight
do.
across
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. You can end up with toes and ankles in your mouth.
I'm going to buy myself a new bed. I'm just going to jump in there.
Well, you might need a tent if you're going to go under the stars. All right, so it can be anywhere out back. You just
And
love it
I
out
just,
there.
I just love the country.
Okay. What about? Is there a favourite country music? Favourite song? Favourite tune? Favourite artist?
No, I'm going to keep that one to myself because I'm too smart. You're
Okay,
going
fair
to make
enough.
me sing it.
No, I won't. I'll promise I won't. Promise I
Probably
won't.
Millionaire by Chris Stapleton.
You like that too? We might just run a bit of that into the pod. We'll drop that in later on
Yeah.
when we're editing.
Link below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, mate, if you get first prize for being the team's biggest pest, who's the runner-up?
Dane Laurie. No.
No buts about it.
Actually, there's a few that's in like good contention. Rua. Yeah, Roo. There's a couple little fence sitters, ones that just sit on a fence and pick and choose. Like,
Not sure if they're a pest or not.
yeah, not sure if they're a pest. Like, will back me up if I'm doing something, then also throw me under the bus if I'm doing something.
Mate, thanks for joining us. Hey, it's been a pleasure having a chat.
No
It's a
worries.
shame you can't be playing Indigenous round. Well done again on your input to the Indigenous jersey.
No, cheers.
Looks brilliant.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how
I
it
know
came out.
sales are going through the roof, but more to the point,
Yeah.
the players are going to be really proud wearing it.
Yeah, and I can't wait to buy it this year. Can't wear
Well,
it.
we'll probably give you one. We'll give you one for free, but we'll have
2?
you back 2 if you want.
3?
We'll do a little one for Onyx.
Yeah.
You're
Done.
back on deck against the Raiders in
Back
round
on deck,
14, mate.
yeah.
Thanks very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us on Behind the Raw. We'll do it all again next week. Same time, same place. Nado's got to fly. He's got to get down to the gym. You know the drill. Until next time, show your stripes.
Behind the Raw, the official podcast of Wests Tigers.